Hello, my name's John Moody, and I'd like to talk to you about a series of videos that I'm putting out on YouTube, partly to publicise my own writing, but also to give people who fancy doing similar to what I do, which is write books and put them up on Kindle so that people can download them and read them. Give people a chance to do the same. It's not that difficult to do. In the olden days, when you had to find a publisher and get them to accept your book, your ideas, and then sign all sorts of contracts and various other things before you would ever see your book in print, if you ever did, have long gone. Nowadays there are lots of different methods that you can use to get your books up and in front of people. I mean, you could do it yourself. You could self-publish and self-print. It's quite stressful. You have to do an awful lot of work and pay out quite a bit of money. There are also a lot of companies that are riding on the back of writers who are trying to make it by offering them all sorts of glamorous schemes whereby in the end the writer still pays a small fortune to have a pile of books in their living room that they've then got to convince all their friends to buy. But then along came Kindle and Smashwords and quite a few others now, where you can literally sit down at your computer or you take your writing pad and pen and write your story, write your books, write your poems, whatever it is that you want to put down on the paper. And obviously after checking it and making sure that it's readable and the rest of it, you can then upload that manuscript to one of these sites, and you can design your own cover, and you can then have that book available for anybody in the whole world to download. They can download it free from some sites. Other sites they will have to buy it. Kindle, you have to put a price on your book. You can make it quite low, and then they can download it, and the only thing they need is to have a Kindle pad. But these days with mobile phones and with the ordinary computers that you can download a Kindle device onto now, you don't have to have the Kindle reading pad, you know, that flat book that you can take in your pocket when you're on a train or in bed reading various other things. So these series of videos are going to be about how you get to that point where you can actually say, well, hey, go online, download my book and read it. Now, what I need to do is backtrack a little bit, because first of all, most people say, oh, well, you know, I don't think I can do it, I don't think I could write. But I bet you that most people at some time in their life have said, you know, I could do that. They may have read a good book, and they thought, oh yeah, okay, but I've got ideas, I could do something like that. It could be a fiction book or something else. So you may even got round to actually scribbling notes in a pad, and it never got any further than that, you know, and it's stuck somewhere in one of the shelves with all your other books. Or you might have actually done a diary, even on a daily basis. You know, dear diary, today I did this. I mean, famous film Bridget Jones's Diary, you know, and a lot of people do. They write down what happened to them that day and other things, and a lot of people write down their thoughts, their feelings. Now, to them it might be very personal, but if you think about it, most fiction books are about people and their thoughts and their feelings, and how daily life interacts with them and gets them involved in a situation which hopefully will be interesting enough for other people to read. So this is what I'm trying to explain to you now and in the future videos that hopefully will all be linked, about how to do it. 3 years ago I used to write a diary every day. I lived in a pretty dingy house, and most of the things I read, they sort of were downbeat, you know, oh dear, how much longer can I stick this sort of thing. And then one day I started writing something funny just because I wanted to change, and I found I was chuckling at my own writing, you know, a bit self-obsessed maybe, but and that led into writing a fiction novel which is called The Art of Stupidity, which is based loosely on an art teacher in a comprehensive school in England who catastrophe just follows him round. Now, I was an art teacher in a school in England, but that doesn't mean that the things in my book actually happened to me. I wish some of them did, actually. So what I'm saying is that you don't have to be very good when you start out. All you need to do is have ideas, to have the impetus to put them down, scribble them down in pad every day, take an hour, whatever time you have spare. Turn that television off when you're watching some program you didn't really want to watch anyway. Get out the book, scribble some ideas down. They won't always come easily. Sometimes, it's like flogging a dead horse. Nothing happens. And you think, oh. But if you don't start, you won't get anywhere. And if you just continue to put things down slowly, what happens is you get more ideas. Unfortunately, there's sometimes when you haven't got a pad or pen with you, or in a difficult situation, you've got to try and remember them and hope you don't forget them by the evening. But if you can get all these notes down, start building it into a book. If you've got a computer with Word, Microsoft Word on it, start typing it in. I mean, when I was at school, my spelling was pretty atrocious. I had tons of ideas, but my actual spelling was very bad. And if that situation had stayed the same today, I probably would never have started writing. But the good thing is we don't have to worry now. There are programs which will sort out your spelling and sort out your punctuation. And if you get it into a reasonable state, you can always give it to a friend or two to look through it. Someone who reads a lot, someone who's good at English, who can say, well, that bit needs changing, this bit needs turning around, etc., etc. So, how do you start? Well, you start by forgetting all about the technical side of how you're going to get your book up for the moment. You just write, okay? You get a good idea. How do you get a good idea? Look around you. There are so many things. You can hear my dog barking there. That's just 4 of them running around out there.
Well, we've run out of time now, but I want you to take a look for the second video and subsequent ones, which are going to be about how to write, what to write, to give you guidelines on how to build up a story, and then how to actually upload and have your book on the internet. So the first one, which should come within the next day or so on YouTube, will be how to basically set up a spine that you can follow to create your first book.